right, welcome to the team call for Wednesday, February 8th. I am setting up some really awesome calls for the weeks to come, and I kind of wanted to share with you guys who's coming up. So I usually don't like to, speak on the whole team call because I love having guest speakers, and that way you guys get a different point of view and you can probably learn from so many other coaches. So there's going to be me tonight, and then next week I have Laura Mendenhall. She's actually Bonnie's success partner. She's a 3-time elite coach. She's super awesome too. The week after that, I have, I love this girl. I don't know if you guys follow her, but her name's Caroline Nathan. And she's actually a huge, big time employee for NBC. She actually runs all the major events. And it's so, this girl has Success Club 30 every single month. And she doesn't just have a full-time job. She has this really crazy job. She works 60, 70 hours a week. And so I'm she kicks my ass in Success Club. And I'm like, what are you doing over there? So we're finally going to be able to exchange calls. And she is always smiling. She has one of those contagious smiles. So I'm excited to hear from her. I'm in her team page and I'm always learning stuff from her. And then the week after that, I have Josh Coates coming on. So some of you might follow him. And he did a presentation for Bonnie last night that I was like, you got to do that for my team. So I'm excited. So we do have quite the lineup, and I even have a whole bunch after that. But I just wanted to share kind of my goal for the month of February with you guys. And it's been really awesome since the team retreat to watch a lot of you open up. And I even want to give you guys major shout out and high five, because after I gave Sarah a shout out yesterday for her really in-depth emotional post, I watched other coaches follow her lead that typically don't. So it was really cool to kind of watch everyone's following each other and learning from each other. And I think we're really starting to grasp the concept of what sharing means, because for me, it's been the hardest obstacle for me to overcome as far as articulating, this is how you share on social media. Because for me, I'm oh, you just post and you share your heart and you share your mind, and it just kind of rolls off my tongue, but I know that's not the case for everyone. So when I recently invested in a Facebook ad training, I've learned so much. It's the first training that's actually taught me how to click here and do this and do that. So I will be teaching you guys down in 2 weeks. I'll have a video up if anyone wants to start to dabble with it. It's going to be really cheap, $3 a day type ad stuff. So it's definitely affordable for people. That was a side tangent. But when I started this ad training, I never in a million years thought that I was going to get the material that I got about teaching you how to tell your story. And it was so fabulous because Jesse had a copywriter come on. And this copywriter, he is someone who writes ads for multi-million-dollar companies. And so as a multi-million-dollar company, you know your ideal client. Whether you sell tampons or you're the Squatty Potty, right? I always think that their marketing's hilarious. Or if you sell baby food or yoga clothing, you know your exact ideal client. And that makes it really easy to make these advertisements. So I don't have cable. So it's funny whenever I go somewhere, and if I'm watching a football game, and I notice how many manly commercials are on because they're targeting the male audience usually. So that's pretty much what we're doing as Beachbody coaches, is where you have to know how to write to speak to your audience. So in Jesse's training with this copywriter, his name's Mark Paschetti. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Paschetti maybe. He did a 4-video series, and I pretty much sat here and geeked out last week, and I took notes, and then I put it into a presentation because there's actual tangible questions in here. The beginning is a lot of getting you guys to understand the power of telling your story, and then at the end, I'll be giving you guys the how-to. Before we dive in now, I just kind of wanted to preface that. Do you guys have any recognition that you would like to do for today? You're geeking out too, Ashley? I'm geeking out that I'm actually learning how to do this Facebook it's no one's ever taught me what he's teaching me, and it's working. And I'm oh, it's so refreshing.
Colleen, I want to shout out Mike McGinn real fast.
Yeah.
Post retreat, Mike's coming in hot. Mike's posting with intent. Mike's signed somebody up. Mike's doing the thing. Mike's working out again. Mike's passionate, and I like seeing that. I like seeing that when coaches kind of take it and run with it, and Mike's doing that. And he's been extremely coachable. I know that a lot of leaders, including myself and Colleen, have spoken to Mike as of recent. He asks questions, and when he gets the answers, no matter what it is, he runs with it.
Yes. And I totally agree with you. It's been like, so when he schedules a call, I'm like, oh, awesome. He's going to ask me questions and I'm going to tell him what I think. And it's just my opinion or my experience. And then he goes and does it. And that's really being super coachable. And I want to actually touch on that for 1 second. So I've been doing a lot of like, hey, is it okay if I help you with this post? And hey, is it okay if I help you with this? This is where I really want to, like, with my heart and my soul, help you guys understand that you have to throw away the employee mentality that your boss is telling you did something wrong. If I reach out to you, it's not like, oh my God, you did something wrong and we got to fix it and I'm going to write you up and you're in trouble and you suck. Being an entrepreneur, you'll really start to transition, and it happens every day. People are like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. And I'm like, no, it's okay. That's why I'm here. Like, I failed forward. I did all these things too. And no one was, I mean, not that Liz wasn't there, but Liz wasn't the person to message me and be like, hey, like, let's try to fix this faster. You know, like, it's just a different way of coaching. She let me fall on my face until I couldn't fall on my face anymore. And I just am like, hey, why? I assume you guys want me to help you faster. If not, you can be like, hey, I don't want it. Get away from me. I won't be hurt by that. But just remember that as an entrepreneur, the advice that we do get from mentors is something you have to get used to. So like when I go to Brendan Burchard in a few weeks, he's gonna tell me all this stuff that I'm probably not doing, or I can do better, or that I'm good at. And I have to be like, okay, it's okay. And I'm going to learn from it. So it's just a different mentality for when you guys do like mentoring calls. And the quicker you can start to be like, okay, like Craig's just trying to help me right now. It's so much easier to learn this business. Did I cut anyone else off from recognition with my little tangent?
Can I actually say something?
Of course.
Leslie Branton just led an incredible call for Emily's team, and it was all about vision boards, and it really lit a fire under us, and I'm really excited. So I just wanted to recognize her and say thank you.
Ooh, I need to hear more about this. I know she messaged me like, are we having a call? And I was like, yes, and because she told me she was doing one too. So awesome. Mike, I'm glad the retreat was helpful. I'm already thinking of the next one and what we're going to do and how. I don't even know, because there'd be so many people. All right, let's stay on track. So I will have a question for you guys before I dive in. And I want to ask you guys, would it be helpful by a show of hands if I did a how to do a sneak peek group? Like, what is coaching event? Yeah? Okay. So I did a team call this summer on it, and I don't think people realize that's what I was trying to show them to do. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to break it down, because it's something that every single face on here has to do themselves. If you're like a brand new coach and you've never hit Success Club and you haven't hit Emerald and you're not getting a paycheck and you don't exactly have the Beachbody story just yet, don't worry. I'm not saying that you have to do it right now, but for the others that are kind of having that the pendulum swing and the momentum is gaining, it's really important that you guys know that that's something. And it doesn't have to be in a Facebook group. It can be a webinar. It can be a Facebook Live. You can make whatever you want. But I want to show you guys like the how to get started. But you have to promise me that if I do this, that you guys will do it. Okay. Because that makes me excited. It makes me excited to see your face on the screen, sharing your story. All right, we will do that. And I already talked about the like page. I'm going to be making a video on how to start promoting your page for as little as $3 a day. Okay, let's move on to our story. How to tell your story. Let me get my screen situated. Okay, so I loved the presentation. Wait, I'm recording, right? Yeah. I love the presentation that I heard, and it was they broke it up into 4 videos, and I literally wrote every single word down and kind of tried to condense it into this, where they talk about your story, and telling your story online is using the language of emotion. And so this, for some of you, might be uncomfortable. You might be like, ugh. And it's so funny because we have the guys on our team, And the guys on our team are so not afraid to share emotion, which I think is so fabulous, because most guys are like, oh, no, not doing it. So I think we have like the best example here for the guys. Okay, so here we go. You don't have to write all this down, but I'll let you know when you definitely should write stuff down. But the most effective way to initiate an emotional connection with others online is, so these are some things that when I go to your page, I do need to see. Sorry, I was just checking the chat to make sure everything's all good. Okay. Sharing what you go through on a daily basis. This is how, I know you're like, duh, Colleen. This is how you're going to initiate that emotional connection. Think back to like these commercials that we see. They're targeting their ideal client. So you need to think of your ideal client, which we're going to talk about tonight. And what does your ideal client feel and think and go through on a daily basis that they can connect with you? You have to be 100% open. Eventually, at some point, you might be 99% open right now. You might be 75% open right now. I'm just telling you guys how to share your story with emotion. Remember yesterday, the post I made, like Sarah's, it was, she's sharing the shit that's in her head. She's kind of just saying, brain dump, this is how I feel. This is what I'm going through today. And she got a great response from all her people. And that is going to leave an impression as she continues to share. Intimate details. So don't take this out of context. But guys, when you do a workout, you've got to share the emotion with it. Not always, but it's a good idea to get really good at being able to tell that story. You really can't overtell it. So people will say like, so how many times a week should I be intimate? It's like, just do it more than not. Once a day, I try to share like a real deal kind of intimate post. And don't think of intimate as like, oh, like lovey-dovey or even like a sad, negative, super deep, pulling skeletons out of the closet. But every post I share, rather than, oh, perfect example. This is how intimate details that just popped into my head. One of my coaches today shared that she made a new shake. And I was like, okay, but like I was like looking for the rest of it. I'm like, but what kind of shake did you make, right? Share the intimate detail of how today you put in frozen strawberries and then you use some coconut milk and you've never tried those before and you were blown away by how awesome it was. That's like the detail, the story, because someone's going to go, ooh, that sounds really freaking good. Making this emotional connection with some extra oomph in your posts. Demonstrating what you are learning from your struggles so that you can teach them how to do the same in their life. So share the struggle, what's your solution? Share the struggle, what's your solution? It's pretty much something that you'll get really good at over time. Sharing experiences that make you more of who you are today. It's really important to share that. And I think that people overthink Facebook Live too much. And guys, like if you're at the grocery store and like you had something happen today, get on Facebook Live for 2 or 3 minutes or make a video, even if you don't post it, and just get used to talking. We're going to talk about that later too, but share experiences that make you more of who you are. I'm sure that you guys have aha moments or like, holy shit, that kind of sucked moments. And you've got to be able to share that. Why aren't you clicking? Okay, so you have to establish your personal brand, your authority, and your why for being a coach. So again, vague, but when I go to your page, I should kind of know like your 3 to 5 passion points, your kids, your family, your fitness, your health, your religion. Maybe that's what it is. I need to see your authority. I need to see that you're out there having breakthroughs and sharing the scary stuff, the good stuff, the bad stuff. Being vulnerable and proving to your audience in a way that you're showing up every day is how you're going to show people you're in authority. And your why for being a coach. That's exactly what Sarah did yesterday. She's like, do you guys want to know why the frig I share my life every single day? It's because I don't want, she claimed it. She's like, I don't want Jay to go to work anymore. Sarah, sorry, I'm like totally blasting you right now, but it was so good. She's like, I want him here. And I want him to have either one job or we're working together, whatever it is. And this is why I'm showing up. You don't think that there's people out there like, dang, it's pretty inspirational. Like she's an authoritative figure on social media. She's claiming what she wants. You have to provide value daily and show something that they want and need before you have any business helping them change their life. So every single day, guys, when I go to write a post, I think, what does the old Colleen need to hear? At some point in my social media, I think about what the old Colleen wants and needs. And I have to provide them with how I'm doing it before they're ever going to reach out to me. I have to I don't know why those random lines show up. I'm not even touching my mouse. That is so weird. Is someone else doing that? I don't know. So before, like, someone's going to reach out to me, the attraction marketing side, or the, like when I'm asking someone to join my team, if I've never made an emotional connection with them on social media, they're probably going to be like, no, I don't want to join your challenge group or your team or whatever. But if they're like, you know what, like every single day when you make this post about not being able to meal prep and you really suck at it, but you're doing your best and you're still getting your containers in, like, what are you doing over there? That's why it's so important to share your story. Just kind of open those gates up. You have to live the Beachbody lifestyle first. Now, I'm really in this presentation talking to the coach who's like, you know what, I want to do big things with this. You might not want to be an elite coach. You might not want to earn whatever, like 6 figures. But guys, if you ever want to help people with Beachbody, you have to live the Beachbody lifestyle first. Super Saturdays, summit events, product to the product, sharing on social media. You have to live and breathe that first before anything is going to happen. So I love this point. The most successful coaches have shared their personal experiences, which is different than most selling. Most selling is like, this is the best iPhone on the market and you have to buy it now. Although that's a bad example because Apple doesn't do that, but let's just pretend I'm a bad phone salesman, okay? This thing, it's like waterproof and it's going to have 48 hours of battery and you need this phone. That's selling. It's not like, in my world of selling, I would do it in the smart way. You know what? I love my iPhone because if I go on the lake and I drop it, I don't have to worry about it. When I'm out camping and I want my battery to last, it lasts 48 hours. It's about your personal experiences. That emotion is going to equal the connection. So what kind of daily breakthroughs are you having? And this is a huge reality check. Every day, guys, you should have a little daily breakthrough. Like, you know what? Today I went 10 seconds longer in my push-ups. Today I got on Facebook Live and I sucked, or I did awesome and I just did it. Or today I hopped on my first team call and I had my first call with my brand new coach. Like every day, that's why it's this long-term compound effect thing. So how do you get highly motivated people to join you? By letting them into your story. That's honestly it. If you share shakes and you share workouts and you share rah-rah cheerleader stuff, like just quotes every day, and there's no story attached to it, you won't get highly motivated people to join you. So we want friends, right? Treat this business like you're talking to your BFF when you get on there. It's so much more fun. It's conversational. And it does take a little bit of failing forward to get it. But you help people and inspire them by letting them into your life, into your world, and into your Beachbody journey. That's how you're helping them. You might think that it's the challenge pack. That's a part of it. But really, guys, it's about you and this new person having the exact same feelings that you have and you working on the daily breakthroughs together. How do you become a personal brand? How do you stand out from everyone else? And I asked this last week, but your story, that's it. There's only one you. There's only one Leah, one Craig, one me, one Katie. That's it. Future team leaders are inspired by the way you magnetize them into your business. So for me, this is the post I made last night. I was magnetized into this business for my why of freedom, travel, fun, fitness. So think, why were you inspired and magnetized into joining your coach? Think about that for a second, right? They come to me, I think, because they want to learn from me. They were magnetized into something, some want or need that I've been sharing, a solution that I've had that they want to learn from me. No story, no breakthroughs, no connection. So let's get into some questions that you guys can apply to your business. You have to be so clear on who you want to help. We call that your avatar. in order to have the best conversation and tap into their biggest pain points, wants, and hopes. When I talk to a girl, the only thing I really talk to them about is like, I want you to feel good. I want you to be happy. I want you to wake up and have awesome days. I want you to feel sexy. I think it's awesome for women to feel sexy. I talk to them about, I want you to travel with me. Like, girl, do you want to travel with me? Or, I mean, some of my coaches are tied down to their jobs. That's fine, but I want to still travel with them. So I know who my customer is. And when I have conversations, I'm talking about our similar wants and hopes. We talk about the pain points of, you know what, like when I first started this, I was scared. I didn't know what I was doing. I went from corporate world to this. That's probably the old Colleen's pain point, right? I can talk to them about that. But you've got to be clear on who you want to help. So to find your customer avatar, there are two main things that need to be identified. The first thing is identification factors. So in what ways do people see themselves in your story? If you're someone who before coaching could not afford your daughter's daycare, if you were someone before coaching that would never take a selfie because you didn't feel confident, if before coach, like whatever identification factor they have, you need to be talking about that in your social media. So specific breakthroughs, specific challenges. I'm not a meal planning person, so that's not something I talk about. If you rock meal planning, like that's Emily. Emily's entire like conversational customer avatar piece is people who love food, Janelle too, and they make these awesome recipes. I will eat chicken cold on my fork. Like I'm lazy, I'm a lazy cook. And so in what ways do people see themselves in your story? I always get so out of breath when I do these. And I think it's good to kind of sit down and be like, what has Beachbody coaching taught me? What has this team taught me? You should have a list of 10 things that coaching has done for you. Whether it's fitness, health, confidence, marriage, like whatever it is, those are the things you share. And it will be different for everyone. And then the second thing, to find your avatar, is your why. Why are you doing this? If you are a stay-at-home mom who wants to match her income so that you don't have to go back to work, that's your why. If you want to travel the world, retire your husband, and have $50,000 in savings, that's your why. Why are you coaching? Does someone want to achieve the same things as you? You can connect the dots through the vessel of your story. You have to reveal yourself. And guys, if you're someone who has a full-time job and like you're not trying to quit your job, don't try to act like you're trying to quit your job. You've got to own that story of, hey, I love my job. I work full-time. I'm busy. I get my workouts in. This is how I meal plan. This is how I do challenge groups. Your job is to show someone how they can do it working full-time. You might get someone that doesn't work full-time, but 9 times out of 10, you'll kind of find people like you. So people are always like, but I don't want to quit my job. For you, it's not about a life of freedom. That's not your why. Your why is whatever it may be for you. Okay. What circumstances are you holding back? So for example, I had a leader in my page the other day say, I don't know how to start something. And I was like, well, that's your challenge. That's something you talk about. That's an asset. You know what, guys? I have been wanting to share the Beachbody coaching opportunity with you guys for 2 years now, but I don't know how to get this group started to help share that with you guys. Do you guys have any interest in learning about coaching? And like, you've got to put your fears and your challenges out there. Those are your assets, because someone else is probably going to go, yeah, I feel the same way, or who knows? If your fear is sharing a story that is close to you, you don't have to tell the story, but you can say, I've always wanted to share this story that means so much to me. I'm scared to share it. Maybe someday I will. Just start to put it out there. Sharing that fear or challenge first makes you vulnerable. Second, makes you human. And sharing it allows you to start to let go of your past a little bit. Don't let it define you. I've used this analogy all the time. Or this idea from Brene Brown of when there's a demon in the closet and you're scared of it, you have to shine the light on it for it to run away and go away. The longer it stays in the dark, the longer it stays in the dark. When you shine light on it, it helps. And so that's why I kind of wrote in that post yesterday, if you guys are sharing on social media that life is awesome and dandy, but you're stressed as F about money and life and this and that, you're living a public life totally different than you are in private. And it feels so much better. But you have to make sure you're not complaining, that you get really good at telling the story and what you're doing to fix it. And that will hold your butt accountable. So that's how you attract others, guys. Like, what circumstances are holding you back? It was actually kind of funny at the team retreat. We had like Mike, he was like, well, my story's kind of holding me back. And we were like, no, that's the part you need to share. We need you to share your story as the fear and the challenge, shine the light on it so that you overcome it and it's not holding you back. So here's a tip. When you are giving value, start and end from your own personal experiences. So like, hey guys, I know some people have the craziest amount of anxiety around going Facebook Live. Here's what I found that works. This is giving some value. Or hey guys, I know there's people that really Ashley made a post today about meal planning. I feel like I kind of stalk you guys, like know all your posts. Ashley made a comment about, not meal planning, budgeting. And so she's starting to share her own personal experiences. Okay, so here's an example, guys, that I just kind of wrote up about these circumstances. When I'm talking directly to the old Colleen or just an old me, okay? So when I first thought about starting a new health and fitness journey, I was most worried about what's your customer's biggest fear or concern. You have to be able to write. This is copywriting. It's like if I was a commercial on TV, I have to know I'm addressing their fear or concern around not purchasing this product or taking action. I was afraid to start something and not finish it, but what I found, so I'm putting my story in there, is that I was really selling myself short. So rather than being like, I was afraid to start something and not finish, that's too, okay, so what, right? What I found, reality check, I was really selling myself short. Wouldn't you tell a customer that if they messaged you and they were like, I'm afraid to start? What would you tell them? You'd be like, you're really selling yourself short. So I told them what I did. When I first got involved in my challenge group, I kept telling myself, take it one day at a time. Before I knew it, I had crushed the first 7 days of my workout. I started to see results and couldn't believe how awesome I truly felt. So I told them what's in it for them without saying that. I don't have to say, and if you join me, you will start to see results in the first 7 days of your workout and you will feel truly awesome. I'm telling them my story. And then I share a lesson, the solution. So lesson learned, believe in yourself a little bit more and go for it. That's obviously not something I'd say, but I didn't want to spend too much time writing up this whole post. And then you have to tell them what to do next because that's awesome. But now they're like, okay, so what do I do? When I mean you guys have to lay it out for them, you have to lay it out. It's really good to get used to creating what's called a Google form or a Wufoo form. These are forms that your customer, they're free, can fill out their name, their number, and their email, and they can put a little blurb about what they want. People are not going to message you. I know that blows your mind. You're like, what do you mean? I messaged my coach. Over 99 people have clicked my Contact Colleen link and 7 people have filled it out. There's a lot of people just kind of like, I'm not really ready. I'm not really ready. For them to have to go to message and message you and, hey, Colleen, I know you're really busy, but they're not going to do it. So start maybe with a Wufoo form or Google form. I think Google form's easier. And you guys can shorten it by using a Bitly link. This also gives you credibility in your business. Someone's filling out a form to join you. It's never too early to start doing that. And you'll also start to collect names. So when you go to do follow-ups, it's all organized for you. So kind of back to what I was saying. I share with them my action taken. I reached out to my coach who inspired me, and she walked me through what program would be best for me and how she would hold me accountable to my goals. Feels good to have someone by your side. So I'm sharing the community aspect. I'm talking about results, challenge group. Like I'm basically just putting it all out there. And then I ran out of room, but I wanted to say add a little contact link. Okay, so the most effective way to sell, guys, is to share your story with potential clients. Selling equals emotionally connecting with people. So I hate to use the word selling, but we're going to replace that. We're really not selling. We're sharing our experience, right? Like when I invite someone, I'm telling them that I think that they would make a great challenger in my group because I love what they post on social media. I know they're a busy mom of 2, And I love showing moms how I've been able to learn through my meal plan how to stay on track. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. It's worked so awesome for me, and I share my experience. So this whole scary inviting thing and this whole scary storytelling thing, it's just sharing your experience. That's why you have to be a product of the product and have to get super committed. Oh, I need water. All right, so here are my business tips to actually treat it like a business. You have to schedule out new content and material for every day. Every day is kind of I think if you work full time, this actually might be helpful for you. But if you only have 2 times you can post tomorrow, you should kind of be mapping out what you want to post. And Leslie, maybe she can share it with us tonight. And she still has it. I don't even remember if it was a photo or something she wrote up, but she makes sure that every week she shares 3 times about her fitness, 2 times about her coaching experience, 3 times about her food, and she checks it off with every post. So that way she has a balanced week ahead. And if you guys have a really crazy schedule, be a business owner and say, okay, Monday is going to be motivation. I'm going to talk about fitness and meal planning because we're all pumped on Monday. By Friday, we're pretty fizzled out. So maybe on Friday, I'm going to share some tips and value on how I curl my hair. Like, whatever. What does your audience want to hear? Schedule it out, guys. It's super easy. For me, my thing is before I go to bed, I write up my post in my notes section of my phone because my mind is really active at night. And then that's my post for the morning. Not every day, but most days. So if you wake up in the morning, you're like, I don't know what's going on. That might be a good tip for you because that's how I am in the morning. Okay, treat it like a business. Get comfortable with being on camera a lot. You know, I think like the biggest dreams and the biggest things for all of you, and you can all do it. I know you can, but it's just getting comfortable. That's why I did the Coach to CEO video today of some of us get stuck in the coach world where becoming that CEO is about serving others. That's the difference between coaches and CEOs is when you wake up every day dedicated to serve, give, love, and share with others. So you have to get comfortable with being on camera. In 2017, guys, your post of Shakeology, it's white noise. It's just going to go down who knows where. In 2017, it's video. So you're going to have to start to get comfortable. You have to be vulnerable in order to connect and reach. It's just, you have to. If the camera makes you uncomfortable, talk about it. That's part of your story. People will applaud you and give you hearts and likes. And when you say, you know what, I'm so terrified to be on here right now, but I know I have to start somewhere. And I have this passion to share what I've done in health and fitness. And it's hard for me to put it into words sometimes. I'm so uncomfortable right now, but here are the 2 tips I wanted to share with you today. Boom, boom. Thank you so much. Get off. You're not going to die, I promise. Okay, you got to learn how to write copy. I actually recently asked for some resources on this because I don't want to just tell you learn to write copy and then you go, what? But we're going to get to 4 questions on the next few slides that you guys can ask yourself to help you can make this connection for the language of emotion. So writing the way you naturally talk. Read your post back to yourself. If it was like, schedule a new content material for every day, get comfortable with being on camera. You have to be vulnerable in order to connect and reach. It's kind of like, I drank my shake today. I went to the mall and my kids were crazy. It's kind of just like, okay, like why am I reading this post, right? But if you're like Carrie, one of my coaches was like, moms, you feel me? I need a new day. Does anyone else feel that way? Like the kids were crazy, we were doing this, and mom, it's conversational. So writing the way that you would call up your mom and be like, Mom, I need a new day today. Like the kids are being freaking crazy. You have to overcome something in order to be something. I loved that when I heard it because everyone's so worried about this like perfection and no one can know all these little struggles and bumps in the road I had. But guys, you have to overcome something in order to be something. We look to there's a typo. We look to other stories to determine where we want to go and why. So guys, when you join coaching, you heard a story, you watched someone achieve something, and you made the decision that you wanted that and you want to go that direction. So stories are pretty important. When you share where you are, you give people the opportunity to see themselves in your circumstances. They will literally feel, see, and believe holy shit, she feels the exact same way as me. I guarantee that if I went back to Sarah's post right now, someone else was like, girl, I feel you in some way, shape, or form. You have to give them the opportunity to see them literally standing in your shoes. If you still have limitations, if you don't have this big Beachbody story and things like that, that's what you talk about. That's reality. That's real. That's your story. I'm not where I want to be yet, but here is where and why I'm doing this. Being able to share that is so important. The moment that you successfully help someone see themselves in your story is the moment you can then persuade and influence them. And I hate saying that because it sounds so icky to me, but we're just talking the scientific reasons behind all this. So when you, like, let's say Leah saw one of my posts and she was like, oh my God, I literally wish that I could do that. And like, how did she do that? Or, oh, I feel the same exact way. Leah might think like, okay, well, I trust in Colleen because she's been in my shoes before. When she reaches out to me, she's gonna want the All Access Challenge back because I have it. She's going to want the best of the best because she saw herself in my shoes. So your story does all the heavy lifting for you. The person who does that the best on this team is Candace. Her inbox is overflowing. I don't even have that problem. She's done a really good job of getting creative as a marketer, using different angles, switching things up. And, she's just become a really good marketer. But she's also done, in the beginning, all the good storytelling of the heavy lifting. Stories are the backbone of human existence. Think of Katniss Everdeen, guys, in The Hunger Games. When you watch her, don't you immediately feel like a part of her? Her story empowered women to discover their own inner heroine. Heroine? Is that how you say that? Yeah. Okay, so here's a really super nerdy scientific fact for you guys. You literally, every single person has it. It's a brain cell called mirror neurons. They literally force us to imagine ourselves in the story if there are enough identification factors. I know this happens to me all the time when I watch a movie. And if there's if Sean and I ever have had an argument and then the couple is having the argument in the video and I'm like, oh, see, I was so right. If that was in my favor, I see myself in that story. Or if I'm ever watching this girl surfing down on the coast with her cute little boyfriend, I always imagine living down by the coast and I see myself in her shoes. We literally have this thing called mirror neurons. So you have to pull out your identification factors of who makes up your customer avatar? Who are you? And share it. The interesting part is you choose the part of your story that your potential avatar will identify with. So this is where you want to be careful. So I found when I used to share my depression a lot, I found a lot of depressed people that didn't want to do anything. When I shared my being broke, I got a lot of broke people who wanted to make money, but they didn't want to do anything. So I don't necessarily always focus on that too much, but I try to focus on the abundance and the hard work it's taken for me to get there and the changes I had to make so that my potential avatar will identify with, okay, well, Colleen they see themselves in my shoes, but this is what she did to be successful. So you just want to be careful with that sometimes. Isn't that cool, that whole mirror neurons thing? All right, we're almost done. Every day is an opportunity to reveal something about yourself. Oh, there's a lot of typos. I'm so sorry. That will draw those people. Oh my God, there's so many typos. Those people deeper into your life and brand. Every day is an opportunity. That's why I wake up and I geek out on social media. I'm obsessed with this whole thing. I'm learning with the like pages and the people who want to run and expand and want to do this with me. It's going to be so awesome. We want to draw people deeper into our life and our brand. I hate to use the example of the Kardashians because it's kind of an obnoxious example, but people are so intertwined with their life and their brand, right? Pretty much because they're blasted all over the internet. But okay, so you have to stop blending in. You can't just be the Beachbody coach who signed up to do, oh, I want to get healthy. I mean, you can, but if you're wondering why no one's signing up with you, you have to reveal the beauty and the mess in your story. Decide what your focus is going to be for your business. Decide your why. Decide the person you want to help. And be careful again with all the broken people. Sometimes broken people don't want to be fixed. So you've got to find the people who are And sometimes it's timing. I was a broken person who wasn't ready to be helped yet. And so it was the timing. And so keep sharing, keep loving, and be very specific about who you once were and what you had to do to get to where you are. When you decide these things, this will shape how you enter conversations and find the emotional connection you want to make. Conversations are easy for me because I know what I want to talk about with them. Okay, so here's our questions. So your story is what spoon feeds your why into people's lives. They will get it. No one has to ask me why I'm a Beachbody coach. No one has to ask me why I post fitness every day. Well, I don't post that every day, but no one asks me why because they know why. My story tells it. Sharing your story raw and open interrupts their thinking pattern. That's how you stand out in 2017. You literally have to stop them in their tracks and make them go, you know what? I should probably start eating some veggies. I should probably stop drinking soda, or I should start thinking more positive. Interrupt their thinking pattern. So here's your questions. And guys, I really mean this. Like, write these down, screenshot it. I will post them in the team page. This isn't before every post, but this is when you sit down for the day and you're like, all right, I want to touch some lives today. What is my ideal team member, like my potential client, feeling and experiencing right now? What do they need from me? What do they need to hear? What did the old you need to hear in difficult moments? How can you help them save their day? Second question, what circumstances can I talk about to trigger those feelings? Sarah did it yesterday when her husband said and she did a really good job of storytelling. He had his bag packed, he put his bag down, and he took the other bag, and he kissed me, and he said goodbye. And when he left, I was upset. You can feel that, right? So this circumstance triggers these feelings for other people who have that feeling. How can I leverage those feelings and ask people to take a specific action? So this is where you can start to build engagement. So like, hey, I'm like really brain fried right now. I had a good example, but now I forget. So if you want to have your audience engaged, you can have them like a post, you can have them comment, give an opinion. The posts, for example, like the Chinese food versus pizza, those are awesome to trick the Facebook algorithm to give you more likes and engagement. But when we're talking about the feelings, you want to give them a way to take action. So it's either going to be like, click this link, contact me, or if you like this post, I will contact you, like write interested below. When you really start to dig deep, you want them to take specific actions. All right, number 4. What do my ideal team members really want and really need from life? I see time and time again where people are like, well, I'd love to like not have to bring my kids, to daycare or like be able to be home with them, but that's probably not going to happen. What do you really want and need from life? What do the people out there need? That's what you have to claim. And so I write that. So I actually wrote that in my post the other day. I was like, where the heck are all my motivated girls at? Where the people who do want to travel the world with me, the people who do want to break from life, that they can make their own schedule. Like, I know that the person who's like me, they do want that, but they're not claiming it. So I'm helping them. How can I help them get there? This is important. So guys, it's not just like, I know how to eat healthy or I've changed my life through coaching. It's how do you, when you're in your post, you've got to tell them what you do as a coach a little bit. How have you been able to take action? How do you do it every single day? That's why I tell you full-time workers, you guys have the advantage. People think I just dick off all day at home and I have all the time in the world. They're like, well, yeah, you have all the time in the world to do a 30-minute workout. Full-time workers, busy moms, stay-at-home moms, whatever your daily activities are surrounded around, you have the ability to show people how they can do it. As your customer avatar, how do you do it? You do a free group. You make a live video. That's how you provide value. And I'll share that slide later. So making money online is about showing up for people. So guys, I understand like the weekend, like family comes and stuff like that. As a CEO, I'm sorry, you still got to show up in some way, shape, or form living the Beachbody lifestyle. You do. You have to sometimes put your personal agenda away and give. So if you're still living in that I'm scared phase, that's the me song. What about the mom or the other broken person out there that needs to hear from you today? What do your people need today? No one cares what you have to say to them until you connect with them, until you have aligned with this person and they go, oh my God, like I so feel like that. No one cares what you have to say until they have that, man, I feel like Craig today. If it's not real talk, real life, it's white noise in 2017. Self-development is a lifestyle. This is what you are showing online. That's why I love Beachbody. It's not a product. Self-development. The more you change on the inside, the more your circumstances change on the outside. So if you've been a coach 6 months to a year and you're kind of the same person inside and out, or just more so inside than when you started, you have to focus in. The more you start to have these breakthrough moments, the more you'll start to feel at the top of the mountain when you're like, I have to tell everyone about this. All right, that's my jam for you guys today. Wow, I didn't see all these comments. Did you guys like that? Yeah, okay. So I'll share that slide. Good, I'm glad you guys liked it. I'll share that slide about the questions because I don't want you guys to have to like write that down. I just more so wanted you guys to pull that in. But this is practice, guys. Like I'm not saying if you signed up 2 weeks ago, you should know how to do this, but I hope that it will be in the back of your mind. Like even when I work with my coaches, I still like, well, every post you make matters. And I know everyone's like, but I don't want every post to be about Beachbody. I know that. We don't want that. 20% of your post should be about Beachbody. 80% like asking for a sale. 80% should be your life, your brand, like what you're all about. And even if you're not making a post about Beachbody, it still counts for likes and comments to help you with your business, right? So if it's like a really blurry picture or like a negative post about something and you're so mad about something, that's still part of your business. Any questions? Yes, Sarah has been on fire lately. The name of the form. So Wufoo, I know it's a funny one, wufoo.com, or just type in Google Forms on Google and it will come up. Google Forms is, I think, easier. I liked Wufoo because it actually sends me back the responses in a beautiful laid out format to my email. And I only get a notification with Google Forms. So for as many as I do, it was working out better for me. I know, but I don't want like customers like mentorship answers in a spreadsheet. I'm like really out of breath. What's my problem? Krista said, sometimes broken people don't, like, I made that up because I didn't want to be fixed back in the day. It's like, if you talk to me about that, hell no. I bought a challenge pack and I returned it because I was like, oh, hell no. And then I was like, okay. Sorry for all my typos. Any questions? No? Okay, cool. Well, thanks for coming tonight. I'm really excited to share the like page stuff. It's like so simple. And I'll give you guys a head start. So here, you're going to be like, what? You need 10. I want to say this right. You need 10, 15 to 30-second video clips of a workout move. You could do other videos like Emily, for example, like if you had your tripod up and your like little light and like you were doing a recipe and you were talking in it for like 30 seconds, showing someone how to make like a hollandaise sauce or I don't know, something like that, that might work for your brand. But typically with all the testing that has been done, and guys, this has all been tested, like it's been tested and it's all worked. These videos you're going to promote, and I'll show you how, but I wanted to give you a head start to use as the, hey, like my page for daily fitness inspiration, or whatever your one sentence is, so they can just click the little thumb. But we're going to test 10 videos and find which one gets the best. And you can't use copyrighted music, so don't throw in your favorite song. You can't use iMovie music. You have to use royalty-free music, which you can find online, or it can be silent. You don't even need music. I don't think I'm going to do music. Make sure it's good lighting, and you need to do your phone this way. So don't take the video this way. It's got to be, this is horizontal. I'm so tired. And when you do it, for example, you want your head to be here and your feet to be here. So planks work good, ab exercises. You want it because you have to think, I don't know if this makes sense to you guys, but as a graphic designer and as like someone who is into that stuff, someone's scrolling, your whole body across the frame is going to make them stop. And so I can show you some other examples too, but typically the workout clips. And so make 10 15 to 30 second workout videos. And that's going to take me a little bit to do too. So I figured I'd give you guys a head start. You're not posting them anywhere. There's just something you're going to keep. This is only if you are doing a Facebook like page and want to run ads. Let me rewind. If you don't want to do a Facebook like page and start to run ads, it can be as low as $3 a day. Just ignore everything I just said. So I know, Mira, I was thinking of like the one I did with my resistance band that day. I had like my GorillaPod. I don't know where it is. I'd show you guys. But if you need a tripod, GorillaPod's a good one because it wraps around my lamp so that my camera's angled down and it's a really great angle. I tried to do it at the gym today and the lighting was terrible. Any advice for a silent challenge group? Yeah, so I sucked at challenge groups until I started doing the participation challenge, and I have help with my participation challenge because there's like 200 of you in there. I cannot track everyone. So I have my assistant doing the tracking for me. And her and I came up with the content together. So you guys are more than welcome to reuse the content that's in the Winter Bootcamp series yourself, but you have to kind of bait their participation. I've had the same exact thing. And my best advice is to do a 30-day group so that people kind of stay engaged, but give away a prize. Mine's like a 3-day refresh, a shirt. It's not going to like break my bank personally. Serena, so my recommendations for a like page, I think it's good for everyone, like for you for sure, because you're in a groove. And I think if you're good at social media, I think it's a good idea to start. If you've hit Success Club, if you've ever earned a paycheck, like if you're in motion with coaching, it's good to start. The idea is, and this is the expectation, that it's going to take you a year to grow your following. It's not like it just happens. It's going to take you a year. And then like the second year is when it actually starts to produce like a following where people are messaging you on posts and signing up in your challenge groups and your business starts to just kind of happen. And don't quote me on 1 year, but that's kind of the expectation. So, and you can start to kind of slowly share your like page on your personal page. So a like page does cost money to produce results. But like I said, it can be as low as $3 a day. And you don't have to do that every day. But $3 a day will start to get you likes. And if you do that for a year, like budget out maybe $50 for your month or $40 for your month, $20 for your month. And you'll start to build that over time. And I will teach you guys what you need to share, how it works. Like it's mind-blowing science. But I just wanted to kind of share that video thing with you guys so that you had a head start, because I know it's going to take me a little while. I'm looking for my notes right now because there was something in there that I wanted to make sure that I told you guys. Where did I take those notes? I don't know what happened to my clipboard, but the copyrighted music was one of them. You want to do horizontal and then your head and your feet, and I'm pretty sure that was it. Yes, Craig, go ahead.
As far as challenge groups goes and all the stuff that us coaches, Colleen, myself, that we talk about, if you guys haven't looked in the marketing tools section of your Coach Online office, they do have a bunch of great resources, as well as the Dream Corp resources for coaches. Like, start searching through this stuff, guys, because we're not going to like feed it to you. You really need to like dig into it. The marketing tools are great. They're great for challenge groups. It tells you what to post. So if you're not sure, dig into the resources. They're there. She's put in so much work for us to have these. Like, just all you have to do is click on them, watch a video, read. It's not hard. Like, it's perfect for us.
Yes. I'm like losing my voice. And I didn't answer Serena's question. When did I switch to a like page? So I started coaching in July 2013. I opened one up in 2014, had no idea what I was doing. So I think I had like 30 likes on it. And then 2015 is when I grew it. And it went from, so this is the thing though, back in 2015, like pages were so different. Like ads were cake. I would do an ad and I would have like 50 people apply. Not all of them join, but it was just so different back then. Now it's like everyone's on Facebook running ads. So it's so different. So I got to 5,000 likes fast now in 1 year. I didn't do it last year, but I've only gone from 5,000 to not even 7,000 likes. So now this year, I'll probably get to like 15,000 likes this year. And then it just will continue to compound. But it's kind of a full-time job. Like a like page, you have to come up with content, schedule posts. And so if that's a little too much for you to add on right now, I don't want to take away from anyone's business. This is more so for the people that are like, hey, I want to expand. And if you do, cool. Anything else? I know there was a lot of info tonight. I probably just rocked your brains, but hopefully it was helpful. I'll post the recording in the team page, and I'll see you guys later.